Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. West Ham 3, Arsenal 1. That was the final score out of the Carabao Cup. I think in the same round as we were last season. I think last season Brighton eliminated us from this round as well. And listen, I can't come here and lie to you guys and tell you that, hey, listen, it's the Carabao Cup. I'm happy that we're out. No, I'll be lying to you. I have seen people's comments. I have seen people saying, listen, we are out of the Carabao Cup. Who cares? Doesn't matter. I'm not in that camp, man. And to be honest, I'm not in that camp for many reasons. At the beginning of the season, I predicted us to win this cup, the Carabao Cup. It's not a case of at the end, because people are like, okay, at the end of the season, you'll start saying, you've won the Carabao Cup. Who cares if you don't win the Premier League in the Champions League? No, it's not about that. That is not an excuse. Like at the end of the season, if you don't win anything else, I'd say, okay, we won the Carabao Cup, no problem. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Like I want us to get in the habit of winning things, whether it's the Community Shield and the Carabao Cup in the Premier League. Win one trophy, win two trophies. By the time you get to March, you've won the Community Shield, you've won the Carabao Cup. You're getting yourself into the habit of winning things. So I usually do not like throwing away the trophy, especially like that this season. I did not want us to throw that trophy away. And now we are heading into the Newcastle game, obviously low confidence. I know it's going to be a different team playing against Newcastle on the weekend, but I didn't want us to go into that game after being thumped by West Ham, and also now we're going to start doubting players. One of the reasons I predicted Arsenal to win this trophy at the beginning of the season is because I really trusted the team, even the bench players. I was like, listen, even if we bring in Trossard from the bench, bring in Nelson from the bench, bring in Nketiah from the bench, Jorginho, Kivio, you start White, you start Gabriel, a few fast team players here and there, Fabio Vieira, Havertz. I was like, listen, if we go with that kind of team, we probably win most of the games either way. So that's another thing that has disappointed me today. The players, I really had trust in them, like in playing these Carabao Cup games, and that is one of the reasons I predicted us to reach the final of this trophy. So going out in that manner, it kills the confidence. So I've gone on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else to read the comments, and people are like, yeah, I really don't care about this trophy. It's fine that you're out. You can now focus on the Premier League. I really don't agree with that, man. We've not won this trophy for 30 years. I don't agree that it's a small trophy. It's part of the 4 trophies that you want to win in the season. I rather win the Premier League and the Carabao Cup than only winning the Premier League. Obviously, it would be special if we won the Premier League, but what if you have a season where you win the Premier League, you win the Carabao Cup, you've reached the quarterfinal of the Champions League, and you reach the final of the FA Cup? That's a good season. That's a very, very good season. So I'm not happy that we went out that way. I'll not come here and lie and tell you I don't care about the Carabao Cup. No, I did this season especially. I definitely cared about the Carabao Cup. Last season, when you went out against Brighton, I was like, oh, well, Brighton are a very good team. We went out. But going out in this manner, yes, we rotated most of the players, but it still felt like we put out a strong team. That was our goalkeeper from last season. I still believe in Ramsdale. That was a back four that I thought was going to be strong enough. Midfield, obviously, the changes a bit all over the place, but I was still like, listen, Jorginho, Havertz, Fabio, where we can create a chance or two. So it is very disappointing, especially 2 or 3 players that really disappointed me in terms of influence. Like when you get a chance like this, I need to see more from Fabio Vieira. When you get an opportunity like this, I need to see more from Havertz. When you get an opportunity from this, I wanted to see more from Trossard, and that is another reason why I'm very, very disappointed in the result and the performance. Like I didn't see Trossard at all in the second half. I didn't see Havertz at all. I didn't see Fabio Vieira at all. And those are players I expect more from, at least 1 or 2 chances, like against West Ham. West Ham had 0 shots on goal in the first half. We had 8. So you expect to take those kind of chances. So I am disappointed that you went out with that trophy. And then on top of that, I really wanted to win this trophy and had a chance of it because Tottenham are out and Man City are out. And I was looking at Man United and Newcastle playing. One of them is going to go out. You have a very good chance of going to the final and potentially winning a trophy in February, March. And then all of a sudden you've gotten yourself into the winning mentality, and then you can chase the other competitions you are in. I just don't want to like throw it away. I know in terms of game volume, you're going to have one less game in November and December and all that, but I really do want to go out of this competition. And I think for Arsenal fans, it's different. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you not bothered at all with this competition? Am I too concerned about the Carabao Cup? Do you think it doesn't really matter? Let's focus on the league, the Champions League, and the FA Cup. Because personally, I do care. I wanted to see a better performance from the players. I wanted to see players making a statement in terms of I want to start against Newcastle this weekend, play well and show yourself in terms of the performance and prove yourself and start over the weekend. So really disappointed in this performance. And Man United are also going out. They're losing 3-0 as well at home. we would have had Port Vale in the next round, Middlesbrough in the next round, Everton. So this is a good chance to win the trophy. Disappointed by how it went. And as I've said, just to clarify, it's not a matter of the time you're going to get to March, I'll be saying, or May, I'll be saying, okay, we didn't win the Premier League, but we won the Carabao Cup. No, that's not what I'm going to be saying, or I would have said if we won the Carabao Cup and lost the Premier League. No. But it gets in the habit of winning trophies. If you win the Carabao Cup, it definitely gets in the habit of winning the trophies. And it's still a trophy. You win. I rather win the Premier League and the Carabao Cup than just winning the Premier League. That is 2 trophies, and you're getting yourself in the mood. I want to, like, in the next 4 years, look at it and like, oh, we won a Premier League trophy, we won 2 Carabao Cups, we won 2 FA Cups. Hey, listen, we got 5 silverware. That is good instead of just 1. I just don't like throwing away the Carabao Cup like that. And for me, the most disappointing thing is because they really trusted the team in terms of second team and whoever was coming off the bench. I was like, listen, we have like the 11 players we have coming off the bench. I really trust them. And then if we mix it up with a few first team players, I expect better. So really disappointed by how the game went. Disappointing. At least we scored at the end. Hopefully, that gives Odegaard confidence. He's been on the bench for 2 days. Maybe that's a good thing for him to come off the team for a bit. Let's see how he performs this weekend. But now, I don't think Havertz made a case for him to start this weekend. I don't think Vieira made a case. I don't think Zinchenko made a case. I don't think Trossard made a case for starting this weekend. I also don't think Nketiah made a case for starting this weekend. So, like 7, 8 players really disappointed me. The players like Nelson, I think Nelson was okay in the first half. I think Kivio defended well in the first half as well. I think Gabriel was okay, but second half, I think they only had like 3 shots on target, from 4 shots on target or 3 shots on target to West Ham, and they scored from 2 of them, and he scored 1 for them as well. So disappointing for me. Next up, we have Newcastle. We have a Champions League game. Now, going into those games, you have to put up performances and win. And I'm just watching Man United right now, and Newcastle are leading 3-0 against Man United. So they are a very good team, and that is at Old Trafford. They could, if you're not careful against them, you could be thumped. And so one of the main reasons I'm also disappointed for today is because people will ask, are you just disappointed in the players or the manager? Both, because the players, as I said, they did not make a case for starting this weekend in the Champions League game. With Arteta, I don't mind the starting lineup. I think in my starting lineup, I had Trossard, I think I had Havertz, I had Nelson. I had almost the same defense, I think, but I think I had Odegaard starting for me in this game. I had Saka and Martinelli on the bench as well. But at halftime, we're trailing 1-0. Yes, we have a lot of the ball. I think you had like 70% possession. I wanted subs at halftime. Yes, many of you don't care about the competition, but I wanted like Rice and Saka on at halftime. If you bring them at halftime, then things can change. But leaving it at 3-0, there's no point of really bringing on the players at all. So now going into the Newcastle game, now we have to win that. You don't want to lose back-to-back games. I do understand that is only our second defeat of the season. That is why I'm mad that we went out of the competition, but it's only our second defeat. If we can keep the Premier League going and stay undefeated until next year, then we'll forget about this trophy. But I really wanted us to get in the habit of winning. You've won the Community Shield, whether people think it's not a trophy or not, and then you win the Carabao Cup, and then that gives you motivation of going to win the other trophies later on in the season. So unless I'm wrong, let me know if you care about this competition or you don't. Let me go to the lineup. Let me see. Ubali says, actually, I don't have a problem for us being eliminated from the Carabao. Well, I definitely disagree. For me, I do have a problem. Let's see. Why are subs not taken on at halftime? Exactly my point. Absolutely shocking from another trophy thrown away. The thing is tactical. I'm not happy. You're clearly not happy. But from the comments I've seen from Arsenal fans, like 75% of them are like, yeah, we don't really care. We are out of the trophy. But no, it's not like we've been winning a lot of trophies recently. In the next 2 years, if you're looking at it and you're like, listen, we won an FA Cup in 2020, we won the Premier League and the Carabao Cup in 2023, and then the next season we won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup as well. Those are silver. You rather finish with like 2 or 3 of those instead of finishing with 0. That's the point. So it's not a matter of getting an excuse of saying, okay, we're not winning the Premier League, at least we won the Carabao Cup. No, that is not what I'm going to say if we had won the Carabao Cup. It's a matter of the players. I want the players to win things. The players that we have connection with, all these players in this squad, the Sakas, the Odegaards, I want them to win 1 trophy, 2 trophies, 3 trophies. I really want them to win the Premier League, of course, but I don't mind them winning the Carabao Cup as well. On top of that, the FA Cup, on top of that, the Champions League, if it's possible, the Community Shield. I want them to win everything as well. But going out like that, especially like getting hammered, it was almost 3-0 we scored in the last minute. I don't want to go out that way, especially West Ham are coming into this game out of form. Their fans were saying, oh my goodness, we are playing Arsenal, they're going to thump us 4-0. They were not confident at all. So this could be worse than 3, says Tactical. But come on, we deserve better from our squad. Yeah, that is another thing that has really disappointed me, the squad. That's the main thing. Because I really trusted most of our players coming off the bench, and that is why I predicted Arsenal to win the Carabao Cup this season. I said at the beginning of the campaign in the prediction video, I said, listen, the Carabao Cup this season, we can play Trossard, we can play Nketiah, we can play Nelson, Jorginho can play Vieira, Havertz, Kivio, we can play Ben White, we can play Ramsdale or Ray in this competition. We can play if Partey was fit, one of them or Rice, one of them. I was like, listen, this is a competition we can win. Having that kind of score, that is our second team. That second team is very good. Well, today didn't really look that good, and that is why I'm disappointed. And on the weekend, I probably wouldn't start 7 or 8 of them. Like I don't think Ben White was good at all today. You'll see in the player ratings, but I kind of have to start him over the weekend. But Tomiyasu starts, Saliba starts, Rice starts, Odegaard starts. Disappointed. I'm disappointed because also over the weekend, yes, Smith Rowe got an assist for the goal, for Nketiah's goal, but I also think Smith was kind of disappointing over the weekend. Today, Vieira disappointing, Havertz disappointing. I expected more from those players coming off the bench, and that is why I predicted us to win this trophy. So very disappointed by multiple players coming off the bench. Condroy Rand says that we should be going through. I do agree as well. Even if you don't go through, there's a chance you could lose. Obviously, you're only 2-1, 1-0 on penalties or something, but not going out to the whimper like that, like getting trashed. That is my problem. I don't want to like get trashed when I really believed in the second team like that. Now all of a sudden, if Rice is out and Partey is already out and Jesus is out and Odegaard is out, I'll be like, oh my goodness. Vieira did not impress me in 2 games or something. Havertz has not impressed me. Smith Rowe did not impress me that much in the game against Nottingham. I'll be like, do I really trust the players coming off the bench? That is a problem. And their momentum and their mood will go down as well. Like, it will be shattered because this was a chance for most of them to show themselves. And I really wanted Nketiah to start again today as well. Build from that 3 goals he scored over the weekend, but he's disappointing today now. Now we are heading into the Newcastle game with him being short of confidence as well. If Arteta doesn't want to win in for this year, it will be skeptical if he's the right man to take us forward and dead serious, man. But I feel the defeat, says Moses. I definitely feel the defeat. I'll be lying if I tell you I don't feel the defeat. But 75% of Arsenal fans look like they don't mind that I've gone out in this competition. So, but anyway, let me go through the lineup that we had today. This was Arsenal's lineup today. We went with Ramsdale in goal, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Kivio, Ben White. I mean, I looked at that back 5. I was like, surely we're not going to concede 2 or 3 goals. Zinchenko is there, Gabriel, Kivio, Ben White, Ramsdale. That is a good enough team. Like, even if those 5 players started for us in a Premier League game, like, I wouldn't mind at all, to be honest. Like, would you mind if you saw Zinchenko, Gabriel, Kivio, White, and Ramsdale starting in a Premier League game? Not at all. So I expected a lot from all of them. And then Jorginho, Havertz, Vieira in midfield. Yes, it's not the strongest. It's actually, in terms of physicality and all that, is kind of weak. But in terms of chance creation and all that, you expect more from all of those players. Trossard, Nelson, Nketiah. Do you guys think if we started with Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard, we would have won the game? Or do you think either way we would have lost, maybe because we don't take it seriously at all? Because I feel like with those players, we would have won. This was kind of on my lineup. I think I went with this exact same team apart from, I think I had Odegaard starting, I think, in place of Vieira, I think I had Vieira on the bench or something. And I think I had Odegaard and Havertz starting. So I would have probably made one change from my starting lineup. But I thought this lineup would be good enough, at least not to be trashed 3-0. So that is that one thing that has really disappointed me today, that squad have conceded 3 goals to West Ham, and we've only scored 1 after we've made subs. I really believed in that squad. Like, I genuinely actually don't have problems with many of them. Yes, they disappointed, but I look at that squad, I'm like, hey, you really trust they really trust Nketiah just scored a hat-trick. Can he do it again? I'm still giving Havertz time. Vieira showed his thing this season a few times, coming off the bench, scoring, assisting. Jorginho played well against Man City, for example. Nelson scored in the last round. So I expected a lot more from all of these players. And then on the bench, we had Karl-Heinz, Saliba, Tomiyasu, Cedric, El Neni, Rice, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Saka. So for the first half, I didn't mind the first half in terms of us keeping the ball and all that. West Ham did not have a shot at all. We literally scored for them. This corner from Bowen, Ben White with an own goal. I think that is his second own goal in Arsenal shirt. I think one of them was like 2 years ago and he played Newcastle. Obviously, don't do that this weekend again, Ben White. Bad own goal to concede. But even after that, we were still playing okay. West Ham are not really getting on the ball. They're not really testing our goalkeeper. So you expect more from the chances. And I feel like decision-making in the box, Nelson was great. I think he was one of our best players in that first half. But in terms of decision-making, maybe shooting the ball and there's like 3 players in front of you, I think the decision-making was all over the place. Some players were really quiet in the first half. White is not great in the first half. Zinchenko's getting himself into good positions, but disappointing. And that is what I'm saying. Like, I expect a lot more from these players, man. Because I know many people don't like Zinchenko nowadays, and I'm like, nah, I actually still think he's a very good player, especially in that inverting thing and all that. I think he's one of the best players in terms of doing that. So seeing him in third positions and making the wrong choice and executing the pass wrongly and all that, really disappointing. So first half, our best chances, like 4 or 5 of them came from set pieces. There was the Havertz header that was saved by Fabianski. I think there was a Ben White header as well that was saved by Fabianski. I think there's another Havertz header from a corner this time that he just headed and just passed the far post. We had like 4 or 5 chances from set pieces in the first half, but that was basically it. Apart from Nelson, the 2 players that really disappointed me in the first half, one of them was Trossard, because I really expect a lot more from him. I think Trossard for me is happy, and then obviously in the next level where I'm trying to wait and see players to prove themselves, the likes of Vieira and Havertz. But for Trossard, I usually expect him to like hit the ground running. But the truth is, Trossard has started like 4 games this season, and the games that he started has been very bad. I think one of them was Fulham. One of them was Man City as well at home. This one as well today. So the games that Trossard has started is not being good at all. I think I'd actually almost say the same for Vieira. Vieira coming off the bench this season has been good for us against Fulham, against Everton. I think he started against Everton, mainly against Fulham and against Nottingham the other day. I think Vieira coming on has been good, but whenever he started, it's not really been good. That applies to Trossard as well. So maybe you should bringing them off the bench, or maybe it's a case of surrounding them with like the likes of Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli. But we can't also say that, because in the Premier League, Trossard and Vieira, whenever they've started with Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli, and they've not really done a lot. So I was really disappointed in those 2 players in the first half a lot. Havertz was getting involved here and there, poor decisions. Nelson was getting involved, poor final decision as well. Nketiah was very disappointing, and we need to see more, man. We need to see more. We don't have Partey until maybe December, and you don't have Jesus maybe until after the international break as well. So these are the same players who will start. Nketiah, Havertz, Trossard. So they have to hit the ground running, man. They have to bounce back from this very, very quickly. But first half, West Ham didn't do anything at all. And we apart from the headers that we had from corner kicks and free kicks, we didn't really do anything. So we didn't play badly in the first half. West Ham are not like dominating us or anything. So I was like, listen, second half at halftime, I would have brought in Rice. I would have brought in Saka. That is what I had in my mind. I actually would have made a triple sub. I think I wrote it somewhere. I said I'm going to bring Saka, Martinelli, and Rice at halftime. I would have brought in Rice for Jorginho. I would have taken off Fabio Vieira as well. I would have put Trossard in his position. I would have put Martinelli in Trossard's position on the left, and then I would have taken off Nketiah or Nelson or one of them, and then played Saka. However, that team can rotate. You can have Trossard up front and then Saka on the left, right, whichever. I just wanted those 3 players to come on for Vieira, for Nketiah, and Nketiah and Jorginho. I feel like we'd have done that at halftime. We'd have gotten a couple of goals, but Atta didn't do it. So maybe it agrees with 75% of the fan base who said this cup doesn't matter. But personally, I feel like it does, man. You want to get those competitions going. You want to get those competition wins. I rather say in the next 2 years, listen, Arsenal have won a Premier League, a Carabao Cup, and an FA Cup, instead of Arsenal have just won a Premier League. That is how I want it. Like, I want to win multiple trophies. Right now, we're in a very good place. When Liverpool are in a very good place, they won the Champions League, they won the FA Cup, they won the Carabao Cup, they won the Super Cup, all those. When Man City are in a good place, which they have been like the last 6-7 years, they've won everything. So whenever you're in a good state like this, you have to win 2, 3, 4 trophies when you can, because you're not going to be like this for the next 10 years. It's going to reach a time, players are going to leave, you're going to have 1 or 2 bad years, and then you're going to have to bounce back. So for us to to throw a trophy like that, I don't really like it. I don't even feel like the coach threw it away for the subs, not bringing on the subs at halftime. Maybe, but the starting lineup, I feel like I needed more. So the players really disappointed me. So second half, kudos, poor defending from Zinchenko. And I think that is the same kind of goal they scored against us last season, Bowen. It was a long ball to Bowen, and then they equalized to make it 2-2. And that is the same goal they scored today. Kudus to make it 2-0. And then we made the two subs, Tomiyasu and Rice for Zinchenko and Jorginho. At that point, yes, it's 2-0. You can still come back like you did against Chelsea, but you're chasing. West Ham can just park the bus and you need 2 goals, 3 goals to win the game. You're already chasing. So for me, I would have brought in the subs when it was 1-0 at halftime. But yes, maybe he's agreeing with some of you fans in terms of we need to take the Newcastle game more seriously in the Sevilla game, of course. But you're still bringing on them on for 45 minutes. It's not like they've played the full game. And Martinelli has been injured for 1 month. Saka missed like 3 weeks, and I don't think they're that tired as of now. They've been resting a bit. Saka did not go for the international break as well, so I would have brought in them at halftime. But anyway, Bowen scored the 3rd goal and just basically game over. At that point, I wouldn't really even have brought on our subs, but he brought on Saka and Martinelli for Trossard and Nelson. Odegaard came in for Nketiah. Odegaard looked lively in the 10 minutes he was on the pitch. He took a shot that Fabianski saved, and he scored our only goal. So I want that form carried over to the weekend. I don't think if I was giving my lineup right now in the players who wouldn't start for me over the weekend, I wouldn't start Zinchenko. I didn't have him in my starting lineup for Newcastle anyway. I want Tomiyasu for that game. Obviously, Saliba will be back for Kivio, although I don't think Kivio's that bad. Ben White, I mean, he was very shaky today, but let's hope in the Premier League is better. Rice definitely comes in for Jorginho. Odegaard definitely comes in for Vieira. Now that Havertz position, because now Partey is out. What do you do over the weekend? Do you start? Which midfield did you start? Rice, Odegaard, and who? Havertz wasn't impressive at all, especially in the second half today. Vieira wasn't impressive at all. Smith Rowe is now injured again. Partey is injured again. So what are we supposed to do this weekend next to Jorginho? I mean, Jorginho won all his ground duels today. I think 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5. Would you start Jorginho again this weekend against Newcastle with Declan Rice in the number 8 position, or would you do in midfield? Because it's a bit shaky as well. But ultimately, we ended up losing 3-1 this game. I predicted 2-0 for this game. Totally wrong. I thought with this defense, it would be better. I thought with the forward players, Nelson, Nketiah, Trossard would be able to create few chances. I don't even think we tested Fabianski at all. Apart from that goal we scored, I think in the first half we had like 1 shot on target. That is not enough. I think we had 3 shots on target in total. I know now. I do understand West Ham went to their first team, apart from maybe Zoom and a few players, maybe 1 or 2 players, and our team was mainly rotated apart from like 3 defenders. But I still expect more, man. I still feel like Trossard is good enough to do something against West Ham. I still feel Vieira is good enough to do something against West Ham. West Ham are a very good team, but they are very low on confidence. They just lost like 3 games in a row. So you expect a lot more from them. I expect a lot more from them. But it's going to be very interesting to see what we do this weekend. Player ratings warning. This is the lowest I'm going to do for most of the players that I've ever done. What happened to Smith Rowe? He's gotten another injury again. Unfortunately, I think it's a knee injury this time. I'm starting to... I'm still not yet saying get out now is done. But if this is like another 2 months or 3 months, then I remember Wilshere very well. Wilshere was a very good player, and the same thing happened. Rosicki was a very good player, and the same thing happened. Van Persie was a very good player, and they were getting multiple injuries as well. There's someone else. Cazorla was very good, but he was getting a lot of injuries as well. But Smith Rowe, I'm really comparing him to Wilshere. Wilshere started very, very well, just like Smith Rowe, but injuries cost him. So unfortunately, at the moment, this reminds me of like back then, 10 years, 15 years ago. In our team right now, we have like 7 players who are injury prone, and that is a big concern. Zinchenko can get injured anytime. Tomiyasu can get injured anytime. Partey can get injured anytime. Smith Rowe, Gabriel Jesus. That's too many players who can get injured anytime, and I'm sure I'm forgetting like 1 or 2 more. Even the ones who are not really injury prone, I think Vieira, if you count over the last 7 months, has been injured like twice. Martinelli was injured at the end of last season. He's been injured this season already as well. Saka now is started missing games through injury. So it's a concern when you have like 6-7 players who are injury prone. The only players, and I'm not even going to say it, I'm going to say it and then they start getting injured. But yes, we have like 4 or 5 players in our team who can play every single game. But the rest of them, and that is why I'm always like, people usually tell me, nah, don't be negative in terms of taking off players, let the players play. No, like if I was the manager, I'd be like, 45 minutes, we are leading 2-0. Partey, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, out you go. You're too injury prone, go on the bench. Bring on the players who are not going to get injured. Wait for the next game. Same applies to the likes of Jesus. So that is a huge concern. Muscle injuries, knee injuries, and Smith Rowe's injuries are different. Jesus' injuries are different as well. So it's very, very concerning. But let me go to the player ratings. Very disappointing game. I really wish I would have been playing Newcastle tomorrow. And the way they're playing, man, this is their second team that they're thumping Man United at Old Trafford. But let's do the player ratings. West Ham 3, Arsenal 1 player ratings. Let's start with the goalkeeper. I'm a big fan of Ramsdale. I've always said I think he's one of the best goalkeepers. I mean, he's just been voted in the top 10 of the Ashin Trophy recently, in the same top 10 as Alisson and Emi Martinez and all those guys. I think Donnarumma something, Bono, all those guys are very good goalkeepers. Today, he didn't really have a lot. He didn't have anything to do in the first half. The kicking was a bit shaky. You could tell like he's very scared. Whenever he gets the ball, he's like trying to look perfect. He's trying to like better David Raya in terms of the kicking. Second half, I noticed a deflection, but you have to do better with that third goal. Ramsdale. I really like him, and I really like him, but the way it's going, you just feel like he's not going to be here for any longer, man. He could be gone by January, he could be gone at the end of the season. So the way I was really hoping that today, like for example, Ramsdale keeps a clean sheet and boosts his confidence and he performs well. So that is why like I'm really disappointed as well. Like I wanted most of these players to play well so that you can be like, hey, you're doubting Havertz, look, he played well today. You're doubting Keita, look, he played well today. You doubted Vieira, he played well today. You're doubting Ramsdale, he played well today. I don't think I can say anything like that for any of those players. Aaron Ramsdale, third goal, yeah, terrible. Second goal, Kudus, I don't think you'd have done much. First goal, it was an own goal. I think it was just average. This is again one of the lowest like I'm giving this good players. I'm going to give Ramsdale a 4 out of 5, 4 out of 10 today. Not 4 out of 5, 4 out of 10. Kivia, I'm going to give him a 5. I think first half he dealt well. I think with the pace of Kudus and all those players, especially in the counter-attacks, I think he did okay. But second half, we considered 3 goals. You have to take that into consideration. I'm going to give him a 5. Gabriel, I'm going to give him a 5 as well. We need a better performance over the weekend. I think he was okay in the first half, but second half, I think the second goal went through his legs. In the first half, I saw him tripping and giving away the ball like once or twice. So I've given Kivia a 5, but I think he was better than Gabriel. I've given both of them a 5, but Kivia was better than Gabriel. Zinchenko, I'm going to give him a 4, getting himself into good positions in the first half, but he's a very good player in terms of passing and all that, but I feel like in terms of concentration, Zinchenko is terrible in terms of concentration. I think he can lose the ball anytime and all that. So you're probably right in terms of him losing concentration in defense. If he just concentrated better and, more power and all that, I think it would be very good. But if you're only going to depend on him on the attack, then let's get another inverted fullback. Maybe Timber would have been the one playing there. It's unfortunate he got the injury. Then we can permanently move Zinchenko to midfield. If Timber is there, we have another inverted fullback on the left. Then maybe the good thing is to turn Zinchenko into a permanent midfielder next to Declan Rice or something. That's where he plays for Ukraine. So I don't know. But defensively, he does lose focus a lot. And in the second half, yes, he lost the kudos for that goal. 4, maybe even it should be lower, maybe a 3. Ben White 4 as well. He scored an own goal. Looked shaky. This is the most shaky I've seen Ben White look, and Zinchenko actually like quite terrible in terms of losing players and giving away the ball and scoring an own goal. 4 out of 10 for Ben White. Jorginho, I'm going to give him a 5. He lost the ball a couple of times, but in terms of ground duels, I actually did see him coming back a lot of times and getting the ball and making tackles in the first half. Second half, nah. So I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I think he was average. If I check the stats, let me just check the stats. Maybe there's something I missed. He got 4 out of 4 ground duels, so he never really lost the ball in terms of duels. But other than that, nah, for 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10 for him. Havertz, I need to see more. First half, you're okay. I was thinking of giving him a 5, but you can't really give him a 5 after that second half. I literally did not see him at all in that second half. Maybe from that time he was crossing the ball in the second half too, but there's no one in the box. First half he was okay, he was getting involved. So maybe this 4 should be a 5, but I'm going to stick with the 4 because I mean, I need to see more, obviously. I need to see more. I've not yet given up on him. I know people are like, sell him. I'm not yet in that stage. I usually give players like 4 or 5 months to show me. If he's still playing like this in February, then I'll be like, not sure. But yes, right now, 65 million looks a little bit too much. Vieira, a 4 out of 10. Again, it could be lower. Disappointed in him. I expect more. I really expect more from him. But then again, just like Trossard, whenever he comes from the bench, he looks good. But whenever he starts, literally, I think all his assists and goals have come from the bench. Vieira, when he's starting, is not that good. So 4 out of 10 for him. Again, another one that was 35 million or 40 million. I expect a lot more from Vieira as well. Reece Nelson, I'm going to give him a 6. I think he was lively in the first half. Second half, he didn't really get the ball. So 6 out of 10. It was looking like if you were to get a goal, it was going to be from Reece Nelson. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Trossard, 4 out of 10. Very, very quiet. Very quiet. Those are the players I expect to take like this game by the scruff of the neck. And you know what? Give me the ball. I want to do a Martinelli and do a Saka. I'm one of the experienced players. Let me do this thing. Let me create chances. Disappointing. I want the Trossard from February, March. You know, the Trossard was getting 3 assists in a game and getting the ball, crossing left foot, right foot. We didn't have that Trossard today. 4 out of 10. Ketia, 4 out of 10 as well. He was very quiet. Very, very quiet. And I'm hoping now he goes into the Newcastle game with a Sheffield confidence and not the West Ham confidence. His XC's expected confidence is very low at the moment. 4 out of 10. Bench players, even Declan Rice, when he came on, he was not good at all. So this is the lowest I've ever given Declan Rice. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Saka, 5 out of 10. Martinelli, 5 out of 10. Tomiyasu, 5 out of 10. Most of them are not on for too long. I think Odegaard was okay when he came on. How long was Odegaard on? I mean, Odegaard was on for 15 minutes. He took a free kick. He tested the goalkeeper. He scored a goal. So for those 15 minutes, I'm going to give Odegaard a 7 out of 10. I probably wouldn't give him man of the match. I think Nelson was okay. It's going to be tough to give anyone man of the match in this one, but I'm going to give Odegaard a 7. Hopefully carries us that confidence from that goal to the weekend. I need to see a different performance. I know it's going to be different players. I know Saka is going to start. Martinelli is going to start. Odegaard is going to start. Saliba is going to start. Rice, let's hope, is very, very different. Arteta. Now, starting lineup, I don't really mind. For the players, the only thing I would have done was started Odegaard in the team because he didn't start at the weekend. But apart from that, I still think that is a good enough team not to get thumped by West Ham. The only thing that I'm mad with at today is subs. I wanted the subs at halftime because I didn't want to go out of that competition. I wanted 2 or 3 subs at halftime. I don't think Vieira was performing. I don't think Nketiah was performing. I don't think there's one person, Nketiah. I don't think Trossard was performing as well. Even if you're taking off Havertz, Jorginho, I wouldn't have mind. I just wanted to see Rice, Saka, and Martinelli at halftime, but he didn't make any subs. And at 3-0, bringing on the subs is pointless. So we got trashed either way. So I'm just going to give Mikel Arteta 4 out of 10 as well for today. Very disappointing we've gone out. I really think we'd have had a good chance. Man United is out. Man City is out. Tottenham is out. I think we'd have had a very good chance to win this trophy, man. There's Everton remaining. There's I think Port Vale, I think Middlesbrough. They've had a good chance, but hey, that one is gone now. We are out. We now have three trophies, and hopefully, if we go and we beat Newcastle 3-0 and we beat Sevilla 3-0, then we'll forget about this one very quickly. But I still wanted to win this trophy, man. I want the trophies. I want the players. It's the players I'm worried about the most. I want the players to get into the mood and the character to get into, what's the word I'm looking for? To the habit of winning trophies. That is what I want. Whether it's the Community Shield and the Carabao Cup and the Premier League, I want that. Disappointed, but thanks for the stream. Thank you, Ake. Really appreciate it. The coach is the biggest problem. He can't start that lineup. Sure, says Sam. But Sam, I saw people on Twitter. After that lineup, they were like, "Yes, this is good. At least Rice is resting. Ray is resting. Saliba is resting." Many people were happy that the players were resting for the Newcastle game. Personally, I would have started with the same lineup, but I would have started Odegaard in the midfield. I didn't want to rotate the entire midfield. I didn't want that. I would have rested Rice and Saliba. but it would have started Odegaard or maybe even Saka, Martinelli, one of them. But going out like that, just didn't want to go out like that. Zinchenko's just not in the game, says Oyewusi. Decision making poor, losing the ball very poor. West Ham played like prime Barca and we played like prime Luton. I think that performance was kind of even worse than Luton. Like if you play like that against Luton, you're probably going to lose. But we are out of the Carabao Cup. Next game, very big now. Now we start the Premier League journey again. The bigger fish to fry journey. We have Sevilla, we have Newcastle, Sevilla, and I think we are having Burnley after that, and then another international break. And then when you come after that, it's going to be a lot of Premier League games. And now we're out of the Carabao Cup. We still haven't qualified in the Champions League. Let's hope we get the job done. Listen, if we go and win the Premier League and the Champions League, I will never even think about this Carabao Cup. But I would have preferred to win the Premier League and the Carabao Cup. It's good to win 2 trophies instead of 1. I'm really upset. I never expected this, says Sam. Yeah, I didn't expect this as well. Even with the rotated lineup, I expected better performances. And the way we were playing in the first half, I was like, listen, you're going to come in the second half and maybe get a goal or 2. Maybe even if it needs penalties, we have good penalty takers. Unfortunately, we didn't get to that stage. And we are out. Man United are out as well. Same 3-0. And now I can't laugh at them because we lost as well. We lost 3-1. But hey, those are my player ratings. Disappointed how the game goes. I guess the best thing to do is just to move on from this game and focus on the Newcastle match. That is not going to be easy. Newcastle are just thumping Man United right now with the second team. So we have to find a way to deal with Wilson. We need Ben White to bounce back right away. Jorginho might start because we don't really have anyone else in that midfield. He needs to bounce back over the weekend as well. Saka, Martinelli, we needed them in the game. We need the better performances from them. Hopefully Nketiah performs better than today, unless he doesn't start. I don't know who's going to start, but let's wait and see. But thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I'll catch up with you on the next one.